Women spent years saying we don't need men, now men agree, and suddenly that's the problem.
Have the men given up? I'm serious. They just stopped. They don't want to have sex anymore. They don't want to go on dates with women. They just want to hang out with their boys. Look, I get it. Men want to hang out with men. They want to do their thing. They don't want to care about women drama anymore. I don't know. Maybe someone can explain to me what's going on, because as long as men are not approaching women, they are going to be single. And women are having a great time. From what I've seen, single women are having a great time. Yes, maybe they want boyfriends, they want to hook up, but single women are having a great time. The single men, I don't know, not so much. What do you think?
There's something almost cinematic about watching the same voices that screamed men are optional, now spiral because men took it seriously. For years, independence was marketed like a flex, no man, no problem. Now suddenly, no man is a problem. Funny how that works when the audience actually listens.
No, males are not choosing, but
Oh, yes, they are.
I do find it hilarious how they are all like, yeah, we're done with women. That's why we're all single, because we chose to be done with women.
You know, if someone tells you something often enough, maybe you should start believing them because, yeah, a lot of men are just completely done with dating.
You guys didn't choose that. You know you didn't choose that.
Oh, but they did. What exactly is so hard to believe about that?
You know that right now women are becoming really picky and not choosing men that all they do is bring a paycheck.
Like I said before, there's a lot of women that are very upset that a lot of guys are actually choosing to be single because they want all of the power for themselves and to be able to dictate who they date. It is incomprehensible to some that guys actually can choose who to date.
Although there are still women out there who will accept that. And I suggest you go find them and leave us alone.
Oh, I don't think that'll be a problem at all. Because it's almost like personality types similar to some that we've just seen are almost the very reasons why a lot of guys are choosing to remain single.
Men didn't rage quit dating, they quietly logged out. No dramatic speeches, no protests, just a slow realization that the juice isn't worth the squeeze. When every interaction feels like an audition you're meant to fail, most guys just stop showing up.
I see all these men quitting dating and going into celibacy, and it's great. I know what's going on with my hair, I just come out of the ocean, but it's fantastic. I believe every man and woman should go through celibacy for a year in their life. It's nothing more important than being able to harness your own life force energy, to be with yourself, to be with your body, and to hold and build more capacity for more of your life force, your pleasure, your orgasmic potential, to not be driven by your errors. And when we learn to be with our own, we are raising our standard for what we are tolerating when it comes to dating. And this will help the whole world to level up because we're not tolerating bad dates, crumbs, or people who are just not doing the right thing. So I think this is great. Might be sad that the dating culture is very broken, very painful for a lot of people, but this is good. This is a bit of a shake-up to wake up, and maybe this is a year where people are doing their work on themselves and collectively we are leveling up. So 2027, maybe all these happy, healthy people with high standards, a lot of love, a lot of kindness, a lot of care, we get back into the dating scene and we will create all this happy, healthy relationship built from truth, built from genuine connection, real, safe love, not trauma bonding, not just chemistry, but actually relationships that's going to last lifetime. Not more divorce every couple of years, lifetime. That's what I'm hoping for. What do you believe? Let me know in the comments.
And now the complaints roll in. Where are the good men? The same place you left them, ignored, mocked, or benched for something more exciting. Turns out, when you treat reliability like a backup plan, it eventually stops being an option.
Freddie says this is why men are not dating and marriage is not in their future. Women want to know where all the good men are? Women like this is why they are not in the game anymore. Women like who? What did you assume about me based off of me responding to a comment. Because you must have assumed something. You must have assumed that it's because of women, like how you perceived me in that one video, are why men are not in the game anymore. You don't know how I am as a woman. You don't know if I'm in a relationship, if I'm single, if I have kids, if I don't, what I do for like you don't know. So women like who? Be more specific. Anyway, I am really wanting a coffee and I want a sandwich. Like just a good hearty sandwich. And the place that I'm staying at this weekend has, my stomach's growling, has a coffee place and a sandwich place right next to it. So it's like, you know, a win is a win.
What's really hitting hard is the loss of leverage. Rejection only works if someone is chasing you. But when men stop chasing, stop investing, stop caring, that power dynamic collapses overnight, and suddenly the game isn't fun anymore.
I'm a 34-year-old guy, and honestly, the reason I've basically stopped dating is because the performance pressure is just getting insane. And I don't just mean on dates, I mean in bed too. It feels like from the second I match with someone, I have to prove I'm emotionally intelligent, confident, successful, funny, stable, but also vulnerable. And by the time I actually get to the date, I'm already in my head. Then when it comes to sex, the pressure is even worse. I'm always worried I won't last long enough, or stay hard, or that I just won't be good in the way she expects. It's gotten to the point where I'm so anxious about disappointing someone that I avoid getting close at all.
Men aren't intimidated, they're uninterested. Big difference. Intimidation implies fear, this is just clarity. When expectations are sky high and appreciation is underground, walking away starts looking like common sense.
This question is for men in their 30s who are single, have no kids, probably zero dating life. What are you guys doing to live your life? Or what are you guys doing? Like, what are the hobbies that you're picking up? Yesterday, I asked the same question to women in their 30s who are single with no kids, dating life. The response has been so insane. There was like 600 comments within like less than 12 hours. It's insane. Women are doing all these amazing things to basically go learn a new skill, hobbies, and just living their life, which is very inspiring for me. What are men doing? Because I really want to know.
A lot of guys looked at modern dating and saw a bad deal, high effort, low respect, and a contract that can self-destruct anytime. So they opted for peace, fitness, finances, freedom. No drama, no negotiations, no thank you.
Guys, listen, dating is changing and women are finally feeling it. Like, women are finally feeling it. Listen, the past 10 years, oh yeah, they had their pick of the litter. Guys were sending direct messages, guys were double and triple texting, guys were doing everything and anything to get a response back or to set up a date. Guys were actually actively initiating dates and trying to actually pursue and create relationships. And what happened? Women didn't want none of them. So now what's happened? Men have quit. Men don't approach, men don't double text, men don't do anything anymore. Men just build their purpose, men just keep building their finances, men just keep going back to the gym, and men have quit. Because what happens is you now have an entire generation of men that think they're unattractive. You have an entire generation of men that believe they're either not worthy, or they're unattractive, or that women just naturally don't want them. You know, you see all this stuff like, oh, women would rather have a relationship with their dog or an animal or a bear in the wild than they would a man and all this stuff. Okay, that's what they wanted. That's what they claimed they wanted. Here we are. What you're going to actually notice, what's going to happen is women are going to most likely start within the next couple of years sending more choosing signals. Women are most likely going to start to pick up the phone and initiate phone calls first. Or what you're even going to see is women just might start even approaching first, because that's what we have actually came to now is men have completely just quit. Some would say for good reason.
The outrage now sounds less like empowerment and more like withdrawal symptoms. When attention becomes currency and the supply drops, people notice. Especially when they built their identity around never running out of it.
My husband and I have been married almost 8 years, and we're starting to see a pattern in a lot of our peers who've been married 7+ years, in that the woman seems to be outgrowing the man. And what do I mean by that? I mean, a lot of women are doing a lot of personal work. They're going to therapy. They're unpacking and healing from a lot of baggage or trauma from their childhood or past relationships. They're becoming more self-aware. They're understanding their attachment styles and their communication patterns and why they are the way that they are, and growing and changing and evolving. And the men just aren't doing that work. They are growing financially or in their career because that's what they've been trained and conditioned to do, to provide. But they're not doing anything else. They're not going to therapy by themselves. And if they're going to couples therapy, she dragged his butt there. She found the therapist. She made the appointment. She reminded him a million times it was happening, and he just goes to appease her, not to actually be vulnerable and work on stuff, but just to try to like make her happy so that she'll chill out. And it is so sad to see because you can literally see it happening. You can see her growing and changing as a person, and he's totally fine being the way that he is. He's totally fine not peeling back those layers and working through that emotional, vulnerable stuff, right? He's like, he doesn't want to do that, and he's totally fine not doing it. But as she grows and changes, she has a desire to connect on a deeper level with her partner. She craves that, but you can't if they haven't done the work as well. And so there's this disconnect, and that causes problems in the relationship. And she essentially at some point realizes she has three choices if her partner is not going to change, is not going to do the work. She can either settle and be content and realize that he's never going to change, he's never going to grow, he's never going to do any personal work on himself or, you know, become self-aware in any of those ways. Like, he'll grow in his career, he'll grow financially, but as a person in every other way, like, that's not happening. Okay, so she can find a way to be content with that and not have resentment, or she can try to force him to change for the rest of their lives. She can try to pull him along the growth journey and force and prod and get him and try to convince him to do it, which obviously causes a lot of problems. Or she can leave and she can try to find someone who is on her level, try to find someone who is willing to do the work, who is more her equal. And it is just sad to see from an outside perspective how common this is. And then it just makes you realize how, unfortunately, how rare it is to find a man who is willing to unpack things and do the inner work and work on themselves and figure out why they are the way that they are and whether or not they want to stay that way, or if they want to improve their communication patterns or their habits or their attachment styles or the way that they handle conflict. If they are going to, if they like, it's pretty rare to find a man who is willing to be vulnerable and emotional and communicate that and learn and grow with their partner with those more sensitive interpersonal things. And it's just unfortunate. And I think it probably contributes to the male loneliness epidemic that's happening, because women are like, I want a partner who will grow with me through every stage of life. I want a partner who's willing to evolve and to change. And unfortunately, it seems like a lot of men aren't.
And let's be honest, men didn't disappear, they redistributed their energy into careers, hobbies, friends, even solitude. Turns out fulfillment doesn't require signing up for a system that feels rigged from the start.
Name one benefit that a man gets from marriage that he wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Just one.
Well, I think, as a woman, if you're...
I'm asking you as a man, since you're, attacking men for being Peter Pan.
I think a lot of men who choose to get married are incentivized by the fact that they are able to claim that woman as theirs. And
but name one benefit that they would get in a marriage that they wouldn't get in a regular relationship.
Well, I think even though it's not 100%, there's peace of mind that that woman is going to be loyal to you.
The answer is there's none. You're dancing around it. There is none. So my thing is this. I think it's in a man's best interest to stay Peter Pan, as you would say. And I think women shame men because men gain their value in their 40s. Men understand the sexual marketplace better. They understand that women have no leverage in their 40s. And they date down and they get younger, more attractive girls. And that's the best way to go in today's day and age, where we live in a deregulated sexual marketplace where women could take everything they got, take their kids, etc. Why the hell would a guy want to commit to women nowadays when, honestly, we got wholeflation?
There's obviously more incentive for women to get married than men, obviously.
Way more.
But what I'm suggesting is there's also benefits to men getting married. And I think...
Name one.
I just told you. I think
that he wouldn't get outside of a regular relationship.
I just told you, the women, knowing that your woman is perhaps going to be more loyal to you when she's your wife versus your girlfriend.
She should be displaying that anyway.
Well, I think
so a title changes her loyalty.
Calling men afraid of commitment is a nice rebrand, but it misses the point. Commitment used to come with mutual benefit. Now it often comes with risk, criticism, and a performance review you didn't ask for.
I have a question for men. I feel like a lot of men are no longer interested in dating. They give up on dating. They're not even trying. Why do you guys think that is the case?
So you're 23 and you're opting out of dating because women all hate men and it's impossible to find a good woman. And when I ask you, well, where have you been looking for women? You say Tinder or the bar or the club. Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure. Have you thought about like maybe attending a church? Right? Somewhere maybe a more morally strong woman might go to, with, values that you might concur with. Well, I've thought about it, but I don't want to wait until marriage to have sex. Okay, then opt out of dating. I don't give a shit. Bro, are you genuinely... All you guys in my comments are like, I tried all the dating apps, Yeah, but
I'm so fucking sick of this shit.
Oh my god.
Touch a boob, buy a drink. I mean, it's like very fucking simple.
Unless you don't find him attractive, then it's sexual assault and he's going to jail. Y'all fucked it up for yourselves. Buy your own drink.
What's wild is how fast the narrative flipped. Independence was the goal, until it came with isolation. Now the same setup that was celebrated is being questioned, because reality doesn't care about slogans.
My dad said it seems like young men don't want to get married anymore, and I wanted to ask the internet why that might be. Like, I definitely have ideas of why it might be, but I'd rather hear from real people. It's also interesting that it coincides with that statistic that's been thrown around a lot lately, which is that 40% of women of marriageable age are going to be single by the year 2030. And what's interesting is it's by choice. Like, we're all choosing not to do this anymore. And I know that for a lot of women, myself included, there's a lot of hesitancy because we've been hurt and we're afraid. So I'm curious, what is it from the male perspective? Or do you think all of this is just like a consequence of the culture we live in now with like hookup culture and the internet? I don't know. Let me know what I should tell my dad, thanks.
In the end, this isn't some grand rebellion, it's a market correction. Men adjusted their behavior based on incentives. And when the incentives don't make sense, people don't participate. Simple as that.
Listen to this. This is the difference between men and women when it comes to dating. Yesterday, I'm on the phone with a guy that I had a huge crush on, and I'm telling him that now that the dust is settled and the vision is clear, I'm telling him, if I had known what I know now, I don't think I would have pursued you. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you are the biggest fuckboy I've ever met, and you know that. And he's like, Aubrey, what did you think was going to happen? We were going to get married? I was like, no, that's crazy. That thought never crossed my mind. Of course, I would never marry you. I would never marry you, actually. No, this isn't, no. Yes! Yeah. Maybe for like a hot second, I just envisioned it for just a second with my stupid girl brain. The fuck? No. I know we were just having fun in the sun. That's the difference. Okay?
The harsh truth? You can't spend years telling someone they're unnecessary and then be shocked when they stop volunteering. That's not a mystery, it's cause and effect playing out in real time.
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.